Ethan is getting sued by his housekeeper, of all things. I don't know why this is starting right now. Maybe the housekeeper sensed weakness, noticed that all of this controversy was happening, figured, hey, let me hop in on the dog pile here. But it's not looking super good. If we take a look at the very reputable, very useful resource Drama Alert, we see new lawsuit alleges Ethan Klein fired his housekeeper because she requested time off for hernia surgery. Now that sounds pretty bad to start things off, but we do have a few photos talking about and showcasing, you know, like the actual lawsuit itself. What we see from the original tweet here that they screenshot is a lawsuit filed against Teddy Fresh, Ethan Klein, and Gila Klein. The housekeeper suffered from a hernia, asked for time off for surgery in June for July, but was fired 2 days after telling Gila she needed the time off. So to start things off, Ethan on his stream actually breaks the silence, quote unquote, breaks wind, if you will, and talks about this lawsuit that's going on, which is interesting. Usually you don't hear from parties in a lawsuit, like Destiny, for instance, because, you know, it can make you look worse, but that's not the case in this instance. Well, hopefully we'll find out. Well, not hopefully. I don't really care. I don't really care about Ethan. I don't care about any of these people.
Suing me, she would explicitly not wash the dishes because she was like, oh, that's your job. Like our kids' dishes. And our nanny has her hands full. Like she is busy as fuck. And it was like these little pathetic snide things that she was constantly doing. I literally had no choice. I had zero choice but to fire her. In fact, I mean, if I didn't, it would have been an issue. It would have been another issue, right? Because like at a certain point, it's like, you know, she's creating a hostile work environment. Right. So we fired her. We did it through HR, everything up and up. We gave her a very generous severance package because I cared about her and I didn't want to leave her high and dry. She's been threatening us, I guess, for a while now. She contacted some employment attorneys. And they've been like, we need, they were trying to shake us down for a lot of money. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was like in the six figures.
That's what he's saying. You know, it was like some random stuff. He's pretty much making the argument that she is just kind of trying to milk them with the situation. And from what they're saying, it was all above board. They went through their own HR department. They did the necessary actions that they were supposed to. And he's making the claim that they were, you know, like I said, kind of milking them for their money, trying to get a lot more out of this than realistic, or I guess realistic the situation. But he also followed up. It's not just there. There is a bit more to what he has to say about this. And he pretty much just also kind of doubles down, says like, I will go out of my way. We are not settling for this. I am going to go out of my way to make sure that this person doesn't get anything. And he kind of doubles down pretty fucking hard.
One, we're completely in the right and we have everything documented. So I have nothing to fear by this going to trial or whatever in front of a judge. And the second thing, as you guys know about me, is that I never fucking let people, I would rather pay the attorneys double than what she's asking for, if that's what it takes. Like I will never, ever concede to this types of shit. I don't care. And I'm just not an option. Like my attorney was like, do you think we should just settle? Like that'd be, I said, no, there's no quarter left for her. She gets nothing. Good day, sir. Good day, ma'am. In the words of Willy Wonka. You know. So it's just a totally bogus, pathetic lawsuit. It's going to be super easy to...
I mean, if you have it all logged and documented,
it's all logged.
The interventions and like having to talk to her about it multiple times or whatever, it sounds like you're in good shape. It's ridiculous. It's all accounted for.
He's not screwed around. I mean, to be fair, to his credit, he makes it sound like they've got something pretty good going. I'm not expecting that, like, I mean, obviously, realistically, in a situation like this, Ethan's not going to try to make it sound like they did anything bad here. Obviously, like that is what the bias is going to be. Consider that when you're taking this in. He sounds very confident. He makes it sound very serious that he's not backing down from someone that's kind of trying to screw him and his wife and, you know, family over in this type of way. But he had also, and I do just want to show this too, he had made a post on, I think it's Instagram, where he kind of replies to it. So let me pull that up as well here. So he says, our former housekeeper, and he was like replying to the the posted lawsuit. Our former housekeeper was fired for being horrifically rude to our boy's nanny, constantly calling her fat and asking when she gained all the weight. I gave her so many warnings, hoping she would just stop, but she didn't. She was part of our family and we treated her like it. I tried everything to salvage the relationship, but her conduct was inexcusable. This is all documented with HR, which hopefully makes it an easy matter to settle. It feels extremely violating to know that someone that close to our family can turn around and do something like this. The part about her asking for time off for hernia surgery and then being fired is 100% fabricated. Anyone that knows us or works for us knows that this is not something we would ever do. I care deeply for all of our employees and do everything in my power to do right by them. She tried to shake us down for a huge amount of money, which I immediately declined, knowing our innocence and refusing to ever concede to people like her. Regardless of where you see things on like a legal matter, I'm just honestly curious to hear how that's gonna end up shaking down, because I mean, it could just end up being a pretty bad thing for Ethan and Gila if they're just saying no and kicking, you know, workers out when they have to leave for, you know, like a hernia or something, versus them actually just kind of getting screwed over in this situation. Like you would kind of expect more likely to be in a situation like this when you've got, you know, a big head honcho of a boss like, you know, H3 people, they do have a lot of money. I think the more and more that I'm spending taking a look at all this stuff, doing more drama, the more I'm like, it really honestly could be going either way. And realistically, we'll never know. Who cares? So obviously, Destiny has been having a pretty tough go with things after, you know, a bunch of stuff got leaked about him, you know, leaking information and nudes, you know, a revealing video, if you will, of a former partner to a 19-year-old OnlyFans model to hopefully get his wiener sucked by this lady. Hopefully to impress her, he'll send a video of him, you know, receiving, what is that called? Fellatio? What is that? Horatio receiving head from another woman. Maybe that will win over this OnlyFans woman. It did end up happening, and there's been a lot of, you know, fallout. If you've seen my video about it, wow, go you, one of the 7,000. It didn't do super well, but if you've been keeping up with the drama, you're firmly aware of what is going on. Amidst all of this, there's this other thing going on, this guy named Bo Blacks who had a really good thing going, and I can't cover this because I don't know jack shit about this guy. He used to do this thing where he'd do a Twitter versus, and he would just pretty much read off tweets, and that was it. Maybe do a little voice acting, add a little je ne sais quoi to it. He has recently had the largest crash out and like just like fumbling event after event. There's just been so much. There has been backstabbing, heartbreak, cross-dressing, but it's culminated in a gap in the market. So I will be doing a Twitter versus where I'm essentially just reading off Nicholas Oreo's tweets back and forth with Destiny and pretty much just covering the fact that he's toasting Destiny on Twitter. To get things started, Nicholas is going on his typical, you know, posting. Imagine if these guys were anything other than spineless, pathetic cowards. Just share the links with each other so you guys can swap. There is a lawsuit, guys. He can't watch the video where the majority isn't about anything in the lawsuit. DGG replies, blindly defending their freak daddy are sickening. So it's a bunch of people just like coming to the defense of Destiny. Content nuke was Hassan, yes, but Destiny reacted to it, as you can see from the photo that he posted. Also, this goes without saying, I don't really care if you like my Hassan/Ethan coverage. If you think Destiny should still have a career as a respected political creator after what he did to Pixie, I invite you to unsubscribe, unfollow, so I don't have to go through the trouble of purging you myself. You're not welcome in my community. I think he did reply to Nicholas Oreo. Yeah, he did. But he says, I just want to say how absolutely fucking hilarious it is that you fat soy fucks were screeching and screaming about how horrible and evil cancel culture is and the hashtag MeToo shit was. Innocent until proven guilty. You're super content to take a side on this because of where the popular support is when only one side has spoken. Sorry, I'm Destiny now. I'll respond with more substance when I can, but I'm being attacked by people who have literally nothing to lose and everything to gain by saying whatever insane shit they can publicly while trying to squeeze me legally, privately, which puts me in the most annoying fucking spot imaginable when dealing with dipshits like you. If you really want to show your nuts, why not attack places like Kiwi Farms where the content is literally still being hosted and blasted to the world? Oh, because that's a scarier party to go after. Talk about cowards. He probably felt so cool writing that. He probably felt like super good writing that. Nicholas responds, Kiwi Farms wouldn't have Pixie's files if you didn't share them without her consent, you pathetic freak. True. Destiny sends a photo of just a screenshot of this, and then with Comment Cop being reposted by Nicholas Yorio, Mike from PA thinks that being sued automatically makes Ethan Klein guilty of whatever claims are in the lawsuit. And then Nicholas responded, "You shared Pixie's intimate videos with a random 19-year-old OnlyFans model and then posted logs where you're admitting to severely damaging her. Why are you responding to me at all? You literally did this, bro." Includes the screenshot. This is literally the feed of Destiny kind of admitting to the fact of what he did and how it is a bad thing that he did it. And it's just Nick including it in response to Destiny. And yeah, he's probably trying to explain to her, no, it's okay. It's okay that I fucked you over. People are gonna forget about it. Like, move on, toughen up. And then also the comments where, you know, he admits to saying, yeah, I know. Right here. God, I wish I could zoom it in more. I'm going to in the video. Really funny that Straighter It says, which is probably extremely difficult to prove in her case. She's not a high profile micro celebrity and you didn't leak it maliciously. You didn't even leak it at all. You distributed it non-consensually. Destiny, yeah, I know. I looked into it for obvious reasons. I know. And then someone else replied to him, I think the problem is all the DMs where you admitted to sharing nudes without consent. Seems kind of guilty. And Destiny said, I didn't admit shit, but keep up the great framing. And then Nick with the double skull emoji. Yeah, me didn't admit shit. Here it is again. I know. I looked into it, but I don't really care much about the legal side of it or whatever. Obviously, I have severely, at the very least psychologically, damaged her. Covering therapy or whatever is a minimum. I don't know how much more you can get into. Yeah, I did it. Needless to say, that's pretty much the beef. And the fact that Destiny took his time, he could just keep his mouth shut. Like, I understand 1000% of what Destiny's trying to do here. And it's like, well, technically, the fact is that some sort of hacker like leaked, you know, the nudes. It wasn't me, okay? Someone hacked into the 19-year-old OnlyFans model that I sent the video to on non-consensually, of course. I've admitted that multiple times. The hacker is the one that exposed it to the general public, not me. So I'm completely free. I'm completely scot-free, and any detractors out there clearly don't understand the law and are focused on, you know, the moral aspects of it, which are just horrendous. If you ask me, I fucking hate morals. They're so disgusting. It's just weird that he cares so much about legally. I mean, like, it matters. It makes sense that he cares that legally people are saying that he's the one that leaked them. Technically not. But it's strange that he's holding it. Well, it's not really strange. I keep saying that. There's a good reason that he's holding on to that and that he's not doing anything else. And that's the fact that if he tried to take a look at this from the moral side of things, he shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't be doing anything, because on the moral side of things, he's very much in the wrong. So this is all that he gets to cling on to keep his fans on his side. There's no other way that he could spin this and stand on it other than this way if he wanted to, you know, have any sort of surviving fan base after this. Although I would argue that when you're as big as somebody like Destiny and you're on the political side of things, it's seemingly nigh impossible to actually lose your fan base, to lose a following completely, or like lose your career. They could drastically get smaller for sure, but I don't think, realistically, I just don't think Destiny's going anywhere anytime soon. I thought this would just be like a funny little bit to do because I just kind of think it's funny, and I think it's interesting that Destiny's taking the time of day to argue back and forth on semantics over like a very clearly morally depraved issue and situation that he's found himself in. And I think it's dumb. He's going against Nicholas Oreo on Twitter, of all places, to fight haters. But that's it. I'll see you later. Adios. Bye.